Bright lights, bright lights.
Hi and welcome to this week's Bright Lights of Roslin Unitarian Chapel, Hampstead. If you have a candle, now is a great time to light it with your family. We are the chapel of the open minds, the loving hearts, and the helping hands. I hope you've been having a fantastic week and you've been enjoying the sunshine. It's made a big difference, I'm sure, to so many of you. And I don't know about you, but spring feels like it's in full flow now, and we can enjoy it and enjoy the wildlife that we begin to see out. I saw three white butterflies yesterday, and it made me so happy. I stopped doing what I was doing and I just watched the butterfly, and it was beautiful. Have you seen any butterflies yet? Have you seen anything in nature that you'd like to share as a family and enjoy together? This week I thought it might be really lovely to talk about butterflies in general and to share a story about how a butterfly comes into being, or its world of becoming, if you like, as it's the last week, I think. Yes, it's the last week of our theme of becoming. And I have this lovely story for you here called A Caterpillar Grows Up. And it's part of a series called A World of Wonder, adapted from The Family Finds Out by Edith Hunter, written in 1966. And it's all about a little girl called Ellen who finds out how a caterpillar comes into the world. Ellen was sitting up on a branch of an apple tree, swinging her legs. Her mother was looking over the vegetable garden. "Want to see a nice fat green worm?" her mother called. Ellen said yes, and she jumped down from the tree and ran over. "I guess that's a cabbage worm," said her mum. "He's sitting on a cabbage leaf. See the big holes he's eaten in the leaf?" "Oh," said Ellen. "He's the same colour as the leaf as well," said Ellen. "He's hard to see there." "I suppose there are a lot more of these worms around," said her mother. "They don't help us a bit because they eat all the cabbages." "Would that worm grow up to be a butterfly like a caterpillar does?" asked Ellen. "I guess so," said her mother. I suppose that really is a cabbage caterpillar, not a worm, and there are cabbage butterflies. You know those yellow ones with the big black spots? "Do you think we could keep him, Mummy, and watch him grow up?" asked Ellen. "Maybe we could see him turn into a butterfly." "We could try it, Ellen. We know what he eats. You could feed him cabbage leaves every day." "Yes, let's show him to Daddy," said Ellen. "Maybe we can find something to keep him in." And she ran off into the house, holding the green cabbage caterpillar close in her hand like that. She ran in with him. "Well," said Daddy, "let's build him a house right now," he said. "I have 4 small panes of window glass. We can use those for the sides of the house, and a piece of screen for the top of the house, and some wood for the floor of the house." Wow, that was kind of him, wasn't it? And in just a few minutes, they had made a fine, large glass house, and Ellen had put the caterpillar right in. Then they put the screen over the top. "You can pull up 1 little cabbage plant each day to feed your caterpillar," said her father. "There are more plants growing in the garden than we will ever be able to use. Probably if you wet the leaves before you put them in, he'll get enough water. We'll keep his glass house on the living room table so we can all see what happens to him." Imagine that. That's good though, thinking that he needs food, water, light, and not too much heat, and to keep him nice and safe. "There you are, Mr. Caterpillar. I hope you'll grow up to be a butterfly soon," said Ellen. For 3 days, the caterpillar crawled around inside his glass house. Ellen put a fresh cabbage leaf every day, and he seemed to be fine. And on the 3rd day, he crawled up the glass on one side of his house, and about halfway up, he stopped. When her parents came home from work that night, Ellen said, "My caterpillar is just sitting on the side of his house. He hasn't moved all day. You don't think he's dead, do you?" They looked at the caterpillar really closely. He did seem rather dried up, and he wasn't moving at all. But if he was dead," said her father, "I should think he would fall down." "We'll just have to wait and see. We've never raised a caterpillar before. We've never raised a butterfly before." "You know," said her mother, "when a caterpillar is nearly ready to become a butterfly, he stays still for a while. Sometimes he spins a cocoon, or he buries himself in the ground, or he just sits quietly in his old skin. They call him a chrysalis when he's doing that, and then when he's ready, he turns into a butterfly." They decided that either their caterpillar was a chrysalis now or he was dead. So for about a week, he didn't seem to change much, except he got a little bit smaller looking. He didn't even look like a caterpillar anymore. He just looked like dried up skin. Gosh. And a few days later, Ellen was standing in front of the glass house, wondering if anything was ever going to happen to that old caterpillar. Suddenly, she noticed something. "Mum, Dad," she called, "I think I can see yellow wings inside. I'm sure I can." Imagine her excitement. Her parents came into the living room very quickly. "See," said Ellen, "there are 2 tiny yellow wings all folded up in there, and I see some black spots too. Do you think he is ready to come out and be a butterfly now?" "I guess that is exactly what is going to happen," said her mother. "Why, this is the most wonderful thing I have ever seen. Let's take the glass house out to the porch. We'll watch the butterfly come out." Imagine that as a family. Amazing. They put the caterpillar's house on the porch railing and sat down beside it. They waited and waited and waited. Nothing seemed to be happening. "Maybe it will take a long time still," said her father. "I guess we better not just sit here the rest of the day. Let's go weed the beetroots and then come back and take a look." After they had worked for a little while, Ellen said, "I'm going to go and see the chrysalis for a minute." And she ran up onto the porch. "Look," she called to her parents. "He's a butterfly already. He's come out. He's beautiful." They came running, and instead of a dried up old worm, there was a beautiful creamy yellow butterfly. His wings looked soft as silk. They were much bigger, much bigger than the little wings that Ellen had seen all folded up. And now the butterfly was flapping them back and forth and back and forth. You could do that with your hands if you like. "Oh, I am sorry we're missing him coming out of his chrysalis," said Dad. "I shouldn't have been in such a hurry. But isn't he a beauty? See his long tongue? He can reach way down in the flowers with that." And the butterfly kept unrolling his tongue and rolling it back up again. Oh, imagine that. Oh, funny. "I'm going to take off the roof of his house now," said Ellen, "so he can fly away when he's ready." And the butterfly did not fly away right away. Wow, so they opened it and the butterfly just stayed really, really still. Then after a minute, her mother slipped her finger down next to him, and carefully he put out one of his long legs, his long new butterfly legs, and stepped onto her finger? Then Ellen put her finger next to her mother's. Can you guess what happens? Once again, the butterfly reached out a long leg and stepped onto Ellen's finger. Ellen lifted up her hand carefully like this, with it resting on there like that. And she held the butterfly out over the porch in the bright afternoon sun. And for a moment he clung to her finger. And then opening out his silky wings, he flapped them and gently rose up into the air. Fly, fly away, butterfly dear, Ellen and her parents sang as the lovely yellow butterfly flew off, and they watched him fly across the street into a meadow. He's landing, said Ellen. He's landed on a meadow flower. Imagine, he's just come out of his little chrysalis, he's become a butterfly, he's gone onto their fingers and he's flown and he's landed onto his very first flower ever. It made them glad to see that their very own brand new butterfly having his first drink of the sweetness of a flower. I love that story. What do you think of that? Does it make you think, wow, when spring comes, it's like having the taste of spring for the first time all over again. The first flowers that you see, the first blossom that you smell, and the coming of summer and a whole meadow of flowers to land on for the butterfly. Imagine being a butterfly in a cocoon, coming out, spreading your wings and landing and tasting the very first flower with your big long tongue and your big silky wings in the air. That's a lovely feeling, isn't it? What a lovely story. Did you know that butterflies come from caterpillars? Have you seen a butterfly? Later on when you're playing, will you be a butterfly? And would you like to do a butterfly craft? Well, I hope so. So I've got two things. I've got one where we can make a butterfly painting, but first we can make some caterpillars out of some card. So I'll show you how to make a paper chain caterpillar. To make a paper chain caterpillar, you need 4 strips of green card, 1 strip of red card, some little pieces of tape or masking tape, and some supervised scissors. Just put all the links together and put some tape around each one to stay in place like a little ring. Put the red one at the front so it can be the head. Then you can take your marker pen and just give him a little face like that. And there you are, you have a little slinky paper chain caterpillar. You'd like to make a little butterfly picture so the caterpillar can turn into a butterfly. You just need paint, a brush, some paper and some water. Fold the paper in half and on one side draw the butterfly's wings. You can make any colour you like, and you could put some spots of a different colour if you like too. Make it quite wet but not too wet. Then when you're ready, you can fold the piece of paper and press down so the paint on one side folds onto the other, and you can see you've got an exact mirror image, a symmetry, so it's the same on both sides. You can give him some little antennae and some little flowers in the background for him to land on. And there you go, he's got some little flowers around him to land on, and he's so happy. And he can take his first sweetness of the first flower that he lands on. I wonder which one he'll land on. I hope you enjoyed the craft. Let's say the closing words together. As we leave this friendly place, love give light to every face. May the kindness about butterflies that we learn light our hearts until we return. Let's blow it out together. 1, 2, 3. Have a lovely week. And next month will be, the theme is stories. So we're just going to have lots of stories and crafts next month. So get prepared for that. And the date of the picnic is the 16th of May. So if you want to come along, just get in touch so we know to expect you. It will be so nice to see you in person. Take care. Bye.
Bright lights,